From California to Michigan by Mark Bittman. My WokeWake. So I recently took a trip from California, Stockton, California to Detroit, Michigan, and then drove to East Lansing. So on the map, here is Detroit, and East Lansing is east of Lansing. I also went to South Haven, Michigan, which was on Lake Michigan. This trip was taken from June 28th through July 3rd, 2024. My first stop was East Lansing after arriving in Detroit Metro Airport. East Lansing is home of the Michigan State University and the MSU Spartans. It has been 11 years since I was last there. This video was I retired from
recorded
Michigan
in
State
several
University
sections.
after 28
One in
years
East
in
Lansing,
September
one
2013.
in South
Haven. And
This video
one showing
recorded
the
in-
new
is
construction
recorded in
at MSU. So we're going to start with the new restaurant that we ate at, the Old Bag of Nails. And this is on Michigan Avenue, sitting where that golf course on the corner of Clifford and Michigan Avenue existed. This is East Lansing, right on the border. And this whole area is brand new. What you're looking at are some apartments that were there 11 years ago, but these ponds and the streets weren't there when I last was in East Lansing. This is Kalamazoo Street. This is where Bacon Cakes was, and this is Clifford Street, which leads into Frandor. Notice the high rises here. They were never there before. This is all new in 11 years since I've been there. This is all brand new. Behind these buildings is 127 and 496. Where it comes together. All of this is under construction, and I can tell you that it's like being in a war zone right now because of all the orange and white buckets. And if I had $1 for every orange and white bucket I saw, I'd be very wealthy today. I'm going back to the Old Bag of Nails, and then we're going to go to some changes that occurred across from Brody. The Brody complex is home to a lot of students, mostly freshmen and sophomore. This is Harrison Road, and I'm on top of the Kellogg Center parking ramp. The Kellogg Center is a hotel, and it is also where a lot of conferences are held. So it's a conference center. And what we're looking at is the old Brody complex. As we go south on Harrison Road, you will see the new 1855 building. The 1855 building has Starbucks and places to eat, and is connected to the what used to be the University Village Apartments, and it's directly across the street from the Breslin Center. And there's the Breslin Center. And as we head east, you'll see like Jennison Fieldhouse, you'll see Munn Ice Arena. Oh, there I am on the top deck. And this is the Brody complex that we're looking at along the Red Cedar. The Red Cedar River flows through campus, very much like University of California, Davis. The campus is focused around the river. More new apartments, student housing. And for the first time in the new apartments that are on Grand River, the main drag through East Lansing, they've incorporated a senior community for senior citizens. So now the senior citizens are living amongst the students. And again, this is where University Village used to be. Those were two-story, very tiny, maybe 600 square feet apartments. And typically only one person, possibly two, would fit in there with one bathroom. Again, I'm looking at the Kellogg Center. And I'm now going to head into Eastern Campus to kind of look at like Sparty and the stadium and some of the other stuff. So here's the baseball diamond next to Jennison Fieldhouse. And across the street from Jennison is the Dem Hall, which is where like the ROTC is. And also next to the field is a nice statue of Sparty. And I'm trying to get around these trees so that I can show you Sparty. Unfortunately, Sparty didn't come out so sharp as he should have, so I embedded a picture. And once I get over to him, you'll see that. In the first third of the screen is the IM East. There's an IM East, intramural building East, and intramural building West. And in a second, you'll see the IM West, which is right next door to the stadium. And here's the Sparty statue. Now this is the Red Cedar behind the administration building, and this has been photographed many different ways, slow motion, different types of photographers have gone by kayak or canoe and photographed it. There are these steps that lead to like Wells Hall and other buildings on campus that have classes as well as student housing or other bookstores and things like that in the buildings. And in the middle of this there is a rapids, and the rapids, the water moves fast, and you should see during the summertime a lot of people kayak down and forget that it moves quickly going down, but going back up can be quite a challenge. And so you'll see this is why it's such a challenge. They forget that they're already tired and fatigued from going down. Coming back up can be a real hassle. And the red cedar has bridges that cross over them. Each of the streets has a bridge, or it's not always on a street, but they have several places that they have bridges that get you from the north side to the south side. And in a second you'll see the bridge. The bridges are gorgeous, and there's a bike trail that some of the bridges have on them. Some of them, it goes underneath the bridge. In this particular spot, there's no space to have a path underneath the bridge. It's all water. And as you can see, the Red Cedar River is engulfed in trees, and it's really quite pretty. And here's one of the bridges. See, there's no room for a path under it. So here's a map of the old campus. Okay, so what we're looking at is Michigan Avenue as we head towards the Capitol building in Lansing, Michigan. Lansing and East Lansing are two separate towns. They are chartered by two different town assemblies. And even this has changed a bit. This used to be Capitol Avenue in front of the Capitol building was a one-way street that went south only. Now it is two ways, and it goes north and south. And this is the Capitol Dome, and there's library behind it, the Capitol Library, and all the skyscrapers and the buildings that belong to downtown Lansing. Now we're visiting my hometown of South Haven, Michigan. South Haven sits right on Lake Michigan and has a river that feeds into Lake Michigan called the Black River. What we're looking at is a bunch of ducks from the Black River, and there are other animals and things inside the river. Boating is a big deal in South Haven. You know, South Haven used to be a port where they would bring in imports and export out fish and things like that from the Black River and from Lake Michigan. Now it's used primarily for relaxation and for people to enjoy being in their boats. There never used to be, when I was a kid, there were never this many boat slots or slips. And so this is all new to me. They built up the area so that visitors can enjoy and go for a nice walk. They have concerts over on the right in the field that I'm standing in. We're going to flip the drone around and we're going to go towards the piers. There is a south pier and a north pier. And each of those beaches are quite busy, especially during the 4th of July and during the summertime. During the winter time, the city puts up fences to prevent snow drifts and the sand shifting all over South Haven. So let's see, we're going to turn that drone right about now. Right after that boat goes through. There used to be a fishery that would smoke the fish, and you could smell the smoked fish and get fresh smoked fish, smoked trout every day. But you could smell it around 4 o'clock, right around dinner time. We're heading west towards the pier now, and on the other end of Lake Michigan, if we were to drive straight across, we would end up in Chicago. Chicago's about 130 miles away from South Haven. This film was shot at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so you can see how many people are there. And I will tell you right now, it was cool. It was in the 60s on this particular day. So there aren't a lot of beachgoers today, but typically there's very little space for you to lay out. But as the sun goes down, of course, everybody comes to worship the sunset. Notice the waves. A lot of people drown in this beach. Undertow takes them underneath and they can't get out. Now we're going to look at the piers. There's a lighthouse on the south beach, and then this is the north beach. And you'll see it's got its own little community of houses. I'm from the north end of town, so my beach would be on the left. And now we're heading back towards where we originally started on the Black River, and we'll get to where we see me, and then we'll kill the video and we'll switch to the flower gardens at my family residence. There I am, over on the right. My brother lives in the house on the north side, and he plants a garden that is very well established, and the neighbors all stop and talk to him about it. This home has been in the family for 66 years. And as you can see, he's maintained it. He's lived there while taking care of my mother. And actually, we both took care of her until she passed away in 2005. It's on a double lot. And it used to be a tar road, but now it's paved and nice and smooth. It's got lots of curb appeal. And so this has been my trip to Michigan. I call it my WokeWake because I don't think I'll be back to say goodbye to my friends and family there. And so that is why I made this trip. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.